Good evening, Abhishek. I am Samir Singh, and along with Akshit, we are the co-member of IlluminatiX, and we officially welcome you to Internship Diaries 2026. It's truly a pleasure to have you here with us today. We are excited to hear about your internship journey and share your valuable experience with everyone.
I am Abhishek Mohan. I am from the batch of 24-26. Prior to joining XIMB, I pursued mechanical engineering from Thapar University, Patiala, post which I was with Reliance Industries Limited for a year as a maintenance engineer. And yeah, then I joined XIMB. So I like consulting because um it essentially deals with a lot of ambiguity. You never know what you will be doing when you wake up. So that was the most exciting part for me, and this is what I got also during the internship. So yeah, that's about me. I entered with AVALON Consulting in their Delhi office. I was contributing to two very different projects. First one focused on operational turnaround. We were engaged with an EV logistics firm. It was more implementation heavy, and the client was they wanted us to make them EBITDA positive by September 2025. They had a slow cash conversions cycle, and we were engaged to, my primary responsibilities in this project were to conduct primary interviews, identify leakage drivers, and to find a way to streamline otherwise delayed collections by conducting trend analysis, extracting insights out of huge, unstructured, and ambiguous data, and making an exhaustive dashboard that everyone in the client team would use from bottom to top instead of multiple different Excel sheets. So this was one. The other one was a strategic diversification study for an auto components manufacturer. They were seeking to reduce their dependency on a single client, and their top line had remained stagnant in recent years. So they were looking at organic or inorganic opportunities. So I was given three sectors out of the 12 we had long listed to evaluate, namely defense and aerospace, renewable energy, and food and beverages. So essentially, I had to evaluate hundreds of components, assemblies, or products in each of these sectors on a feasibility basis and attractiveness potential basis. Feasibility involved benchmarking these components against the boundary conditions the client already had set. So, for example, the total available market or TAM should be greater than 5,000 crores. CAGR should be greater than 8%. And attractiveness potential basically involved capturing the market size using both top-down and bottom-up approaches. So it was essentially doing a guesstimate for like 200, 300 times using different approaches. So those were my responsibilities in a nutshell. XIMB did have a big role in helping me prepare for this role. There is this one subject we had in the first trimester called social research methodology. I think it's different in a different trimester for you guys. So that essentially involved teaching us about surveying methodology concepts, which there is a lot of in consulting. So in fact, my internship interview revolved primarily around SRM concepts tied around my work ex. So that helped a lot, and other subjects such as ADM, accounting for decision making, and macroeconomics. Those concepts I used a lot of during my internship. Also, XIMB, not many know this, especially in the first year, but XIMB has subscriptions to great tools on their digital library portal, such as EMIS, Ace Equity, Toffler, to name a few. And because of the good case competition culture that we have there, I had tried a few of those subscriptions, so I knew what many of them did. So I didn't have to figure it out on the job. So that was good, and especially since an MBA is jam-packed. So it taught me the most important critical soft skills such as, time management, staying calm under pressure, taking ownership of your job, taking initiative. So yeah, that is how XIMB uh, helped me prepare. Unique challenge I faced was in conducting primary interviews. So primary interviews usually, and I was told even uh, uh, by my manager that it involves a steep learning curve because the stakeholders you would interview, they don't know about the questionnaire. They would deviate from it and they would go on about their own anecdotes and stories, and sometimes they would hesitate also in sharing information because they think we would later on point fingers and assign blame to the top management. So to resolve this, you learn on the job, you learn by practicing. To resolve this, I spent a lot of time preparing before interviews. um, by studying previous documents that Avalon had worked on with the client and learning all there was to learn about client operations and its business model. So, and I also shadowed my manager during a few interviews to observe and watch how she navigates ambiguous conversations because a lot of those terminologies that they would use, we both weren't familiar with it because every interview they would use a different term for something. So by observing how she navigates those conversations and how she's able to extract insights out of that extra information that they are sharing with us, which we had not thought of, that really helped me, and I could become more and more confident in it after like two or three interviews. So, though that experience really improved my, stakeholder management skills and structured thinking, and to be able to extract insights out of something that you had not prepared for, and instead of relying too heavily on a script or questionnaire, I could just adapt to the discussion or conversation naturally after like two or three interviews. So that was one challenge. I would say in the first project, the one with the EV logistics firm, there was this aspect of it that there were a lot of three-wheelers sitting idle in warehouses, waiting to be retrofitted with cargo boxes to make them operational. So the client had a lot of those vehicles in many cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, NCR. So one of the regions that I was given was Delhi NCR, and the client team had their bandwidth occupied with something else, and Avalon was engaged to maintain a correct pace and structure according to varied demand in different cities. So we had budget constraints as well, so we had to look for a reasonable cost and time effective vendor, and the quality should also be good. So for this, I prepared a rough bill of materials to benchmark component level pricing, which helped me negotiate better with the vendors and state client requirements clearly. Then I must have licensed with about 15 vendors, which helped me pick one final vendor who had the least cost, and it was cheaper than the vendors the client already had across all cities. So we were saving about 2,500 to 3,000 rupees per vehicle. And during my stint there, about 50 vehicles were retrofitted, which probably went on to 100 or 150, given the number of idle vehicles that were lying in Delhi NCR. So I helped save the client about 1.5 to 2 lakhs in Delhi NCR alone, which my manager was pretty happy with. So that was one small contribution I had. I would say the most important skills in consulting would be, having a problem solving mindset and being comfortable with ambiguity. Because many times you won't have the exact answer or the exact approach to the problem that you're working on immediately. But you need to have the confidence and the persistence to figure it out through, research, analysis, and structured thinking. Uh, you deal with a lot of unstructured data in consulting, and your main job is to structure it properly. Beyond that, strong communication skills are essential and critical because you need to be able to convey your thoughts and ideas clearly, concisely, and again in a structured manner, especially when you are dealing with senior stakeholders and clients. Time management is also one critical skill because naturally consulting involves multiple parallel work streams and tight deadlines. Rest, Excel and PowerPoint, they are expected skills, they are foundational, but I would say what really sets someone apart is how curious they are and how well they think through problems and communicate solutions. For interviews, I would say practice guesstimates and case interviews consistently. At least know the basic frameworks like those profitability frameworks, market entry frameworks. There are really good case books out there with excellent cases, and at least know what is going on in the real world of business. Um, Once you get in, I would say go with an open mind, be curious, take ownership of your tasks and your job. Rest, I would say we all learn on the job, but uh, staying curious, staying proactive, and having the will to learn, these things are what sort everything else out by itself.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Okay.
That was really wonderful session. And I think we are done with the entire internship diaries interview and what that thing. I hope you all the very best in your upcoming future.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Thank
wish you
you.
the
It was
best.
pleasure having you.
Thank you. All the best for your second year and beyond.
Thank you,
Have fun.
Abhishek.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.